Hello everyone, Tex Owlbear here and welcome to another channel update. I just want to chat about a couple of things, some games I'm currently playing, some other stuff. I'm going to start with Emperor Battle for Dune. As you may or may not have noticed, I did unlist the videos. I did not delete them or anything, they're still there, they're just unlisted for the time being. The reason is that I wasn't quite happy with the quality of the Let's Play, primarily on a technical level. Because at the time I was struggling to find a way to record the game without interface flickering, which at least for me was a huge issue with the game. I was kind of glad I got the game running at regular speed and everything in the first place, because there's apparently people who struggle with that as well. I guess it just depends on what kind of hardware configuration you have. Maybe I just got lucky and my graphics card is a graphics card that Emperor likes. In any case, I've redone the LP. And in my opinion, the quality is now a lot better. And there's no interface flickering, it's recorded full resolution, etc, etc. And what I plan to do is upload that at one point. I'm not quite sure whether I'm going to do that as a main series or whether I'm going to upload it in addition to my regular schedule. We'll have to see about that. And what I also plan to do in the long run, that may not happen within the next year, so it's just a long-term thing, to do a second LP where I do the reverse of what I did last time. So I'm going to go for the other houses, so you see all the cinematics and everything, but that's more a long-term thing, and I just do that because I'm a person who likes to do the completionist LP, at least for some games. Another thing I only realized recently, even though it was kind of obvious, that with me having played Command & Conquer Rivals and Command & Conquer Red Alert for iOS, I have played all the Command & Conquer games that are still playable. The three semi-exceptions here are, of course, the two Flash games, as well as the Generals 2 Alpha, which is no longer available. I think the game files are floating around on the internet, but from what I know, it's impossible to play the game without server access, and since EA doesn't provide that anymore, the game is unplayable. I'm not quite sure whether it could be made playable if someone had, I don't know, the source code or anything. I'm not technical enough for that, but it's probably not going to happen anytime soon. It may never happen. And that game was never released in the first place. It was just a test, so I guess it doesn't really count. So I've played all the Command & Conquer games. That was sort of the long-term goal when I started this channel here, which is now more than 3 years ago. And it took quite a while, of course. I've played other games in between as well. I've played mods and stuff. And it was quite the ride. I did enjoy it, and I'm going to continue to play Command & Conquer. It will always be one of the core things on my channel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play some mods that have campaigns primarily. So it's not just skirmish matches highlighting units and stuff. So there's some more content. In fact, we're going through Insurrection, a Command & Conquer Twisted Insurrection right now. And I plan to do more of that in the future. And I'm probably also going to redo a couple of my LPs, not to make them better, but redo them in the sense that I might do them with, let's say, a mod that does support the campaign, such as Tiberium Essence. So it's not quite the same, essentially putting a little bit of spin on things. That's just a long-term thing. So don't worry if you're here for the Command & Conquer content. That's going to stay, and it's probably going to stay until I die. But anyway, Forge Battalion is out, and came out I think less than 2 weeks after I did my own thoughts on the early access version, which that video is pretty much still up to date because the release version really only has 5 new campaign missions. I don't think they changed the balance or anything, and if they did, the changes are so minimal that it doesn't really matter that they did change them in the first place. The game is feels fairly half finished. Essentially all what I said in the previous video stands. The half the tech tree is not really all that useful, and the campaign is pretty anemic. The story is not terribly interesting. The twist they have, which isn't really that much of a twist in the first place, it's alright for a video game, but the maps are just recycled more player maps, and that's not really all that great, to be honest. But oh well, I think it was fun enough. But I don't really see myself returning to Forge Battalion anytime soon. It does have customization, so in theory I could replay the entire campaign using different units and stuff, but there doesn't really seem to be any strong incentive to do that, primarily because you just switch out damage types. So if I played this ever again, I might do it at one point, but don't expect that within the next 2 years or so. I'm probably not going to play it because there's always so many more games I want to play. So before giving that a slot again, I'm probably just going to play something else. So yeah, don't expect anything more there. And there's also Iron Harvest. Iron Harvest got its first alpha release about a week ago, a little more than that. The game it has been described as Company of Heroes mod almost, because at the moment it feels like Company of Heroes with essentially a different setting. So instead of World War II, you have the Interbellum setting based on that board game license. And you do have some differences, such as the ability to pick up items on the battlefield, which turn your infantry squads into infantry squads of a different type. But right now I can kind of see where people are coming from. And I would say it's not necessarily a bad thing, because Company of Heroes is a good game. But it's also a game that's 10 years old, so the game doesn't feel super fresh at the moment. But to be perfectly honest, I mainly backed it for setting in the campaign. Had it been another World War II game, and then it would also be that similar to Company of Heroes, then I think it would almost feel like a clone. We'll see how much progress the game is going to make. I'm not quite sure what the current schedule is when they plan to release more challenges and more skirmish maps. At the moment there's only that one skirmish map, the Abandoned Railway Station, which I played, as well as the one challenge, The Last Stand. We'll see when more content comes out. I'll play that then. I'm probably not going to play too much in the meantime, because I'm only so interested in the multiplayer aspect. And for the time being, I think I've seen most of what is actually there. And with regard to balance changes, that's details. I'm not going to focus on that too much. And to be honest, I might just not be good enough at games like this in general to even notice that there are major differences. Another thing, the Star Wars games. We are currently making our way through Mysteries of the Sith, and I'm going to definitely play the entire Dark Forces series, or the Dark Forces Jedi Knight series, which after this includes Jedi Outcast and Jedi Academy. And I can't promise that I'm going to do those right away, but they will definitely be done within the next 12 months. And I'm not quite sure how much Star Wars I will do afterwards. To be honest, a lot of Star Wars games just don't really catch my attention. I don't like The Force Unleashed. And I'm definitely going to play Star Wars Battlefront, the RTS game, plus the expansion pack, because that's right in my ballpark. That's the one from that was actually from the 4th Battalion makers, wasn't it? Anyway, that's the one based on Age of Empires, sort of. I think it uses the same engine. So it has been an eternity since I played that. So everything I just said could have been wrong. In any case, definitely going to play more of that as well. And I'm also going to play more StarCraft. So there's StarCraft 2. StarCraft 2 has, well, there's really StarCraft 2 plus its 2 expansions. And I think it's a minor DLC as well. And a couple of other things. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that LP, because that LP has a lot of custom content for the single player campaign. There's special units you can choose for the campaign. This might be another game which I would just play twice to highlight all the content, but that would be once again a long-term thing. I'm probably not just going to play it twice in a row, because that would be not that interesting for you as viewers. It would probably be better if I just play it again a year later. So we'll see what the details of that are, because I've only played Wings of Liberty plus Heart of the Swarm, and that was when Heart of the Swarm came out. So that's quite a while ago. I haven't played the Protoss expansion, so it has been quite a while since I've played that game in the first place. But that will definitely come, and there will also be other StarCraft content upcoming, and I think that is pretty much all. Yeah, if you've got any more thoughts on anything, really feel free to let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and take care.